It's Eric. I'm going to write some code. This is a project I've been working on for a year or so. Depends how you count the start date of it. You could say I started working on it when I was 13. No, that would be a stretch. That would be a big stretch. But I've always been interested in animation throughout my whole life. First as a consumer of it, just like everybody else, just a kid watching cartoons on TV. And later, I thought I'd try my hand at it, and got into it a bit. I had different projects where I figured out how to do it on a computer. Had different video games that I wrote where there were animated characters in it, particularly faces. I like the faces a lot. And this project is about animated faces that you can talk to. So it's not just the animation, but it's also a set of interactive dialogue that you can specify that says what the character says and what you might say to it. Let me demo. I always like to start these streams with a demo, and this stream is no exception. So I'm going to show you progress made recently, within the last 18 hours. That's not quite right. Within the last 22 hours. There we go. Alright, so here's my spiel screen. This is the thing that is used to edit dialogue for the characters to say, here's my animated face over here. At some point, I'll be able to click the start button. Doesn't do anything now. And it'll start going through the script, and the character will be saying the line that is currently selected, and certain prompts will be active on certain lines. So like on this line, it's got a few replies underneath of it that become active just after he said this line or began to say this line. And I did yesterday dragging and dropping for reordering the lines within this script. So you can take any line, you can grab it, and you can move it, boom, 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 and you let go, and it moves the line you were dragging to that spot where the insertion point is. And that's how it works. And there's nothing automatic about this code. You have to figure out the exact pixel locations that will signal that the insertion point should go above or below a line. And it was a fairly tricky piece of code. I think I clocked in at something like 6 hours to get it all working, which for me wasn't bad. I've never written this kind of code before. I've written a lot of kinds of code, but never the big drag and drop thing. I think I've shied away from it because it was a little bit complex, and whenever I had to do it, there was always another way to do it that was easier to code, like having those little arrows that say move up or move down. But dragging and dropping is the nice way to do it, and it works. Also got a ton of help from GitHub Copilot to code that feature. It's like if Copilot was like a junior engineer assigned to work with me, and somebody said, honestly, how much of the work did your engineer there do? And how much did you do? I'd say 75% me, 25% Copilot. I think that's about accurate. No hyperbole. So it is a bit like Copilot is honestly a lot like a pair programmer, and one that you don't have to feel uncomfortable being in close proximity to or worry about what it's thinking or feeling. You just have to worry about other things like it maybe stealing your code and putting it in somebody else's project, or vice versa, giving you code that somebody else provided. Provided might be the wrong word. Licensed. So Copilot going through a potential class action lawsuit around it not following the licensing terms of open source software. So when you see open source software, it doesn't mean that code is free for all uses, there's going to be, depending on the license, different things that you're supposed to follow, obligations that you have, the requirements of using that code and obtaining a license to it. One of those obligations is attribution in some cases, not all. Another obligation is one that's frequently used is repeating a license notice in the destination code. And then there's the copyleft stuff, which is saying not only do you have to give attribution and repeat the license, but all the other source code within your code base should also be licensed under the same GPL or whatever the license in question is that's using a copyleft mechanism. I avoid GPL. I avoid a lot of open source licenses that I just don't understand because I haven't taken the time to read through them. There's some like MIT, which that's a very permissive license. It really doesn't ask much of anything from you. And I never mind giving attribution to somebody that's done some work, even when it's not required. I'll often just throw in a shout out to somebody, particularly when I've grabbed code from that person and rewritten it in my own style. I like being connected to all these creators in some way, and if they ask for me to do something in order to use their code and it's an acceptable thing to me to do, I'm happy to do it. People should be free to have obligations around the use of their software, their code. So I guess I like the GitHub Copilot being able to have all these capabilities, and I hope they arrive at a place where they're properly respecting the legal obligations that creators have placed on their work. I see some signs that they are taking pains to do that. I don't think they've quite done enough. I don't think that class action lawsuit is like the amount of damages they're seeking is just excessive. There's just tens of billions of dollars. I forget the amount, but it was just ridiculous. So anyways, let's get to work. Today I want to do something pretty simple. So simple that I'm likely to have a whole bunch of extra time left over after I've completed that task. It's just that when I click on one of these lines and it's got an emotion above it or a parenthetical in screenwriting terms, I want the face over here to change to that emotion. And I've already done something like that over here. It's not so hard to do. The code is ready to do it. See, it's already changed it over here. I just need there to be like a signal that's sent out when you click on each line when you change a line. After that, I'll probably just do a grab bag of like in the code what needs cleaning up, what needs refactoring, what bugs do I see, and just kind of fix what I find until my time this evening runs out. Okay. So in the spiel screen, the mighty spiel screen, okay, I've got a use effect here that whenever a revision occurs, it'll run this code. Also, I think I can put here something that checks the currently selected emotion. There's Copilot jumping ahead for me. This is a little bit wrong. So let's see what we got. Here, let me put a little chat session divider here on the chat window. And that helps me kind of easily see if there's new chats. Because it's on their screen off to my left, and I look over there every once in a while. And yeah, anyways, what am I talking about? It doesn't really matter. Okay, current node, let's see what's actually there. The line, then the emotion, bam, okay. Let's kind of do it the other way though. If emotion not equal undefined, and then ignore what Copilot's saying. I'm forgetting what I need to do. What is it? Is it what do I do on the faces screen? Face event util. That's the one. Okay. So we just call set emotion. And the face ID is just going to be the preview face. Okay, that works. So we'll do set emotion. Emotion. It needs an import. Go up and check what it imported. Put it in the right spot. Do not need that. Got my faces comment. And I'm just gonna do a little more consistency cleanup here. Kind of, I keep vacillating between different schemes of doing my imports, essentially. I think I'm going to err on the side of conciseness. Okay, so if I've got all those, okay, I gotta re-alphabetize these. I know this has gotta be the most boring thing for anybody to watch, and it's almost a good thing that nobody's really watching. Because it's super boring, but I'll be done with it soon. Okay. And I alphabetize by the module name. Okay. Spiel down. Okay, that's all good, I think. And let's do. No, that's good. Alright. Just leave it alone for now. Someday somebody needs to write me an import sorter that sorts by module name, and then I'll be happy. It also does multi-line formatting whenever this gets too far out. Maybe I will write it someday. Okay, oh, for all that, and I forgot what I was doing. Okay, so it's going to change the emotion as you click around. So if I go here, yep, well, neutral, yes. Although that looks kind of like the last one. It looks irritated to me. Huh. So it is changing emotion, but it seems like the constants aren't right. And that might be because I have two different sets of constants. Okay, got it. So let's go back to my use effect. This feels large enough that I could just move it off to, I could refactor it to an interaction. Okay, so in my interactions, is there already one that would match this? Test interactions. Yeah. So I'll put it in test interactions, but what I'll do then is we'll have set emotion for, yeah, from Spiel. Set face emotion from Spiel, okay. And let's just see what Copilot thinks I should pass. I'll be able to know how good of a guess it gives me. Oh, you're just chickening out. Okay, no problem. We'll pass in revision Spiel, and I suppose I have to say if revision I could do this a little bit simpler. We'll say if not revision return, and then that means I can take out the node count check there, and I can take out the revision check here. Okay, set face emotion for Spiel from Spiel. Okay, and then what else do I need? Nothing really. That'll do it. Okay, then we'll grab this out, and I'll just come over to my test interactions. Export function. Oops. Set emotion from Spiel, and then I'll see what you can do. Not enough. That's the wrong set of recommendations there. Bad intern. This is okay. I mean, I just got done typing that. Let me just put this instead. We'll put in Spiel, and then up here, okay, the other thing I need to do is motion equals undefined. We'll just return. But I need to convert the emotion, because this is a Spiel emotion and it uses a different set of constants. So let's import Spiel. Spiel. Weird. Emotion as Spiel emotion from SL Spiel. Okay. And then there's another function. What's it called? Spiel emotion. I saw it earlier. To emotion. We'll see if that. No. Yeah, I saw it earlier. Where was that? What was that? What was that called? Spiel screen interaction, spiel motion util. That's it. That's it. Import spiel, yeah, that one. There we go. Except it's not face util, it's spiel motion util. Okay. So then down here, let's just call this spiel motion. Const emotion equals yes. And then bring this guy back over. I guess I don't need that definition. Okay, back here. Was it set face emotion from spiel? Is there an import? Nope. Different name I gave it just now, I guess. Set emotion from spiel. Oh, no, this is a better name. Okay. Set face emotion from spiel. Okay. Now I should have an import. Yes. Okay. Come up here, clean up our imports. Get rid of that. Set face. Okay, cool. That works. Now if I come back to the app, confused here, evil here, neutral here, irritated, neutral. See, remaining neutral, irritated, neutral. Okay, that was kind of too easy. What can I bite off with an hour and 15 minutes on the clock? I think I know. I think I know. It just might be a lot to do, you know. It might not fit into an hour and 15, but I was thinking I could get the start thing going. See if I can sit here and think for a little bit. Is there any smaller portion of the start that I can kind of safely commit to without worrying about leaving something largely undone at the end of the session, which has a bad mental effect on me and robs me of my dopamine hit. I like to win. Each session I like to win. It's just like your favorite video game, except I'm doing work. I made it into a game where I'm motivated to keep doing it because I get that dopamine hit. The same one that everyone decries Facebook for giving you. I try to associate it with some activity that actually puts me in a better place after I've done it. Okay. There's some kind of state machine that'll need to be built. That's the thing I'm afraid to bite off. There is one thing that was bugging me that is probably fixable within this session. If I go to here and I just reload the app and then I go into Spiels, blank white page, where's my loading state? Let me see if I can fix that. We do init, and this is doing most of the work here. Then, so a bunch of stuff is going to get done asynchronously. The question is, what's stopping the rendering? Is it the revision? If we don't have a revision, then just don't keep going. Because I think I can fix that pretty quick. This is the only thing that is blocking rendering now. Curious what pattern I used on the faces screen. Because the faces screen doesn't have that issue. Yeah, there's nothing here that says we're not going to render if we don't have a revision. Tell you, I breathed a sigh of relief when I was done with the faces screen, because this is still fairly understandable. I've refactored everything pretty well. You know, here's all the use state and everything. It's a complex screen. It does a lot of stuff. It's like a kind of a miniature Photoshop or something like that. You know, it's got a lot of stuff on it. Okay, so the revision, does it get passed down here? It doesn't. So a way I could handle this is I could see, like even here, like it just knows there is always going to be a revision. Set revision. What did I do here? Get revision for, that's what I need. That's all I need. Get revision for mount, that's it. Okay. That's the pattern. That's it. Okay, got it. So up here, instead of revision starting out as null, we want to return something. In fact, take this out. Take this out. And then let's go look at the interactions, general interactions. I think I've got a big to-do. Where does it even get the... Where do you get this? From revision util, okay. Hopefully it's the right one. Yeah, it is, okay. Revision util. Yeah, so this is like not as good as it could be. I want to try to follow the same pattern. So did I do the same thing over on the faces screen? Interactions, revision util. Okay, so where is it? Is there a get revision for mount here? No, I think in this case I put it inside the general interactions for whatever reason. Okay. So I've got this thing here that initializes an empty revision in the case where the revision manager doesn't actually have a revision yet. That's cool. I can do that. Okay, this is the init function. Okay, and there's setup revision for new face and all that. Okay. So I think I got it. Let's just write it in the same way over on the Spiel screen. Get revision for mount. Const revision equals. Nah. If revision, return revision. Otherwise, const new revision equals. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Return. Yes. Okay. So if we do that, yeah, that's all I've got there now. Then if I go here, let's do a full reload. Come over here. Yeah, see, that's what I wanted. Okay, we got rid of the white screen. All right, let me do some commits and pushes. Git status. Git commit a. Let's see. Added emotion, face emotion changes when clicking, when changing selected field line. Fixed empty page while initialize it. Okay. Cool. What else can I do? What else can I do? I don't want to do any of this file stuff. It's kind of, it's biting off too much. At some point I will need to make sure my undo redo is working correctly and that it's hooked up to persistence. But that's also a lot. That's kind of like a start on the weekend type of a thing. I've got a big block of time. I was noticing when I click on dialogues, sometimes I need more context. What was it? Like if I add a reply, then I kind of want like a little bit more context. I wanted to say what line you're adding it for. Now you can see it with this darkened view over here, but it's a little hard to read. It'd be nice to have it in here someplace. So let's get rid of this. And I think get rid of some of these other ones too. Okay, the dialogues. Okay, line dialogue base. This is like, we're going to pass in what? I could have the title. It could be ad reply for, and then maybe like a potentially truncated line of dialogue. Ad reply for. I think that won't work well with responsive rendering though, because this needs to be one line, and the user might do stuff like this. Okay. So what's the language here? I like this when reply matches character says. So I think there's something else up here that should fit that text. Emotion could come down to the bottom. That might be nicer. Try that first. That's really easy to change and see what that looks like. Oh, I got that in the wrong spot. Let's put it here. Weird. I really would have thought it would have updated that. Oh, that's the ad reply. Ad line has got it down here. Okay. I should be consistent with this though. Just character says. Okay, so for the reply dialog base, let's see. Character says. I use colons on the other one, so let's make it consistent. Okay, so this one I think is in response to, no, let's see. In response to that same kind of label, and then not a text box, but just a non-editable piece of text. Although I do wonder about maybe, should I make it disabled? Because that could work. Let's just try that first. In response to do I have disabled? I mean, I honestly think I'm gonna end up just making a new component for this. So let's just call this dialog labeled text, and the idea behind it is it'll be text that follows the same layout as these text inputs, but it'll be read-only text. Okay. So coming back to my dialog UI, let's take a look at this guy. Grab it, create a new one. This one's going to be dialog labeled text. Okay. Label text, value, and that's it. Okay, don't need that. Oh, this is the container. Okay, so we'll do a container, and this will be styles. Yeah, let's just keep it super simple. Label, value. On change, we don't have on change. Okay. And then I gotta create the corresponding CSS for this. Okay, and this is gonna be container. This is gonna be value. This is going to be label. Okay, I got the wrong one there, but we'll fix it. Okay, back to here. Yeah, sure. Okay, how about the import? What? All right. Use new reply is not used. Then Okay, this needs to be not an input box. It's just going to be a span. I have no idea what it will actually do. I feel like it's going to be really weird. No, it's not bad. Okay, so I should just remove the border. Okay, dialog label text. Oh, wrong file. Close that one. Okay. So let's put the line in. I could also make this smaller font size. I think that would be helpful. Just copy the same font size over. Pretty easy. Boom. Okay. It feels like the padding's a little bit wrong. I'm just going to start by removing it and see where it's at. Yeah, it's worse. Okay. So let's put it back in, but adjust it inside the browser so that we get something that's a little bit nicer. And then once I've tweaked it correctly, then I will then I'll update my CSS. Let's try point. Come on. It was showing me for a little bit, like a little point. Dang it, why do you do that? You give me the illusion that you're going to let me edit it. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Oh, okay, I get it. That's the top one. It's this one to change. Okay. So then we just boom one. REM. Okay. That seems off. 0. Weird. Negative? No. Do I need to get... This is strange. This is really quite strange. Oh, I've got this thing on the right saying 2. That's probably affecting it. Okay. So let's go 2, 4, 8, close. 9. That seems about right to me. This one probably needs an update too. If we go 1, does it go up? Yeah, let's go the other way. 3. And I think that's fine. Let's just go with that. There we go. Now I need to get the actual text of the line that is being replied to. to come in. Original reply. And then let's see, in response to line. Yep. Okay. I don't know why it's... Why? Okay, I get it. Okay. Let's do 0 like that. Okay. So that... But then I gotta pass it in. So that means I have to keep going up one level components until I get to the top. So that's reply dialog base. Let's start with add reply dialog. It's now squiggling because it needs the in response to line. Yep. And then you need spiel line up here. Okay, then that means I also need to have inside of edit reply dialog, same thing. I have no idea why it was putting the little square brackets there. Spiel line. Okay. Okay, then go up again to what is it going to be? It's going to be the spiel pane. Oh, spiel nodes view. Someplace I should be getting a red squiggle. Oh no, it's spiel screen. It's the dialogue. Okay, cool. Here we say in response to line. Yeah, that's right. And the thing it's complaining about is current node might not be set. So let's see. Let's do selected line. I'll define that up top. Edit reply dialog, edit reply dialog. Let's put the same thing here. And I suppose this should be alphabetical to do that. Then I'll write this code up above. Sort of. I'll see if it figures it out. Almost. invert this. Don't stop it. Turn it, bam. I don't think that's a real thing. I appreciate the aggressive guessing though. Let's just return a new, or I could throw an exception. I can throw an exception. Yeah, that would be actually correct in this case. So this down here, it's an unexpected exception basically. If not selected node, throw error unexpected. There should always here, if I say get selected line for reply, then that context matters. There should always be a selected line whenever a reply is being edited. Okay, that's a little bit gross to have it coupled that way, but I think it's probably the cleanest alternative, to be honest. Okay, and hop back down here. Okay. Trying to see what these. Oh, I see. All right. So I just got the to do there. Otherwise, the lint is clean. All right, that may be enough to get it all to work. Yeah, well, okay. Add root reply dialog. Let's go there. Oh, I see. I see. Need to do the same thing for the root replies. And this is interesting because they don't actually have anything they reply to. So for that, I can just make in response to line optional. And down here I can say that's like in response to, yeah, that's actually pretty close to what I want, but not quite. So if in response to the line is defined, then we're going to do this whole thing here. Otherwise, we'll do null. And then pop this in here. It's an optional thing. It'll be shown only if this prop is defined. So then I think that fixes it. So if I say add reply here, it says in response to, they won't let me bring the bag in when reply matches whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So now I've got this extra bit of information. I like it. If I edit a reply, that's all good. Okay. General replies. Double click. It's good. Same. Add general reply. No way. You're not the boss of me. There we go. So add that. Cool. 5:23. Did all that work and I still got time left on the clock. Substantial time. That means I gotta add something else. I gotta do something else. Let's start a very basic state machine class for the face. Okay. Before I do that though, I can do a commit. Let's do this. Git add source. Git commit A. There we go. Okay. Let's get the Scratch open. Get rid of this. Yeah, kinda, yeah. That's very good. No, it doesn't do that. Alright. Yeah, that's true also. Start will begin from the, nope, currently, close, selected. Yeah, that's technically true. I jump in between line and node. It's node. You were right, Copilot. Good job. Sorry to mess with you. That's true, but it's implied by the previous statement. Okay. While playing, states to track are good guess. Player talking, character talking, character listening, I think this goes further. Character talking, interruptible. You saying I made a spelling mistake, you better be right. Nope. You're not right. But that was not Copilot, that was Writer. Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah. Don't you challenge a 5th grade spelling bee champion? Fuckers. Here, just add, that's going to drive me nuts. Add it to your goddamn dictionary. Okay. Character talking. See if you can guess the other one. It doesn't want to because there's not empty space to the right. Now I'm playing a little bit, but okay, character talking. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was getting to. Okay, player talking, character listening. Yeah, those are the states. Okay. And I think there might be those states they're gonna kill me a little bit just thinking through them. Let me not get too deep into it yet though. Okay, the other thing is common functionality not coupled to Spiel's screen. Can be used in scenes and elsewhere. Which probably means it needs to be a library at some point because hiccup. Because at some point there'll be a non-WISP environment that just plays scenes. WISP is like the authoring tool, but there'll be something like a player or a showcase site, and you can go and say, I want to play this scene, and you play it, and then there'll be some code there that is able to handle the conversation state. Okay. Future proof for refactoring to a, see if you can guess. Nope. Dependency. No. Let's see, just to a library. To a separate. Nope. They're not bad guesses, they're just not right. And I'm amusing myself by looking at them. Trying to learn too, like just how good is Copilot. So I'm probably being a little more indulgent than I need to be with that. Okay. So I think it's like class conversation. Set spiel. You don't need to write code here. This is pseudocode here. Do you understand? Will you stop trying to write code if I do that? Okay. Set line. Works with, let's see, I want to say it keeps a state even when the spiel is changed. Keeps conversation state even when the spiel is changed. That could be a tricky one. Change spiel. Okay, the spiel is it has within it like a selected node in the structure, so it could get all the information it needs from that. I'm going to put it back to set spiel. Okay. And I don't think this is really necessary to say. Okay. And then I don't want to set to specific lines, because setting the spiel will give it the line it needs. Okay, constructor. Yeah. Constructor takes event callbacks. Okay, for this is tricky. What do I want to drag into this thing? What's the division? Will it include speech recognition, for example? Do I want it to be free of any presentation capabilities? Like everything would happen with callbacks. That would be the most flexible way to do it. It would allow for things like alternate renderings of faces. Like if some other code wanted to do like a WebGL rendered thing on a model, then it's not really it's not really good to have like all the face rendering stuff assume that it's going to go to that same sort of 2D face. This design stuff's a little bit hard. Alright, just for now. Let's see, open questions. That's an interesting question. Does it want to have to understand? No, we're going to have one conversation at a time. I mean, it's not a bad question to pose. It just makes me say, let's just be clear. We'll handle one conversation at a time, one spiel. Okay. Open questions. How will it signal face changes? How will it cause face changes? And then it's really just a nice little additional comment and add at the end here, because that would be the alternative. Or will it just be a state machine that can be used? Yeah. Let's see. E.g. face changes are... Hold on. Yes. Oh, yeah. How will it know that some parts of speech? Yes. Yeah, some amazing autocompletes here. Okay. I do think that if it was going to be just a pure state machine with no kind of direct presentational logic, and it only had like callback interfaces to signal all these things, that I would also create like a wrapping class around it that would specifically bind to the expected presentational things. The question is, would that be a valuable abstraction layer to have them separated like that? I know initially it won't be valuable. It's just like down the road. Am I painting myself into a corner if I don't abstract between those two things? So I don't think I'm painting myself into a corner. I think I can abstract it out later if I want to say this could bind to different means of playing audio and etc. And there could even be like overrides. Like you could say by default it will use these APIs, but maybe you set some other API if you really need it. Okay, so at a minimum, I want to say for state changes, okay. Well, so I'm binding to Wisp provided audio and yeah. Okay. How will speech rec be initialized and handed off to the conversation? I do think I need to have that be set separately. How will conversation know when resources are loaded? Okay. Okay, there's going to be a play, and there's going to be a stop. Yeah, I don't know about pause and resume. Do I really need them? Yeah, because play is always going to play from... Honestly, I could do it this way. Just pass in the spiel. Okay. Bare minimum needed to use the state machine. Bind, boom, boom. Everything not needed to use the state machine is bound with methods following this pattern. Okay. So, let's see. What are the things? Bind. I think this is probably a good place for me to stop, to be honest. I say that just as somebody popped into the stream, but I think this is about as far as I want to go with this design effort right now. So I look forward to coming back to this, particularly on the weekend when I've got larger blocks of time. In the evening I've got little chunks of an hour or 2 hours, and I try to get little things done then. But the larger tasks, I need larger blocks of time to really get into them. I did a little bit of design work there. It's not bad. But I need like 4 hours or something to like really start going on the state machine stuff. So the idea is going to be that when you go here and you click start, well, nothing happens now, but it'll start like going through this conversation, and the transcript here will start saying lines that the character says. I will probably want some kind of subtitle style caption up here for the lines as well. That might be a good one for tomorrow evening. And it'll start progressing through here. And then a little bit later, we'll also bind the speech audio, and this guy will play with face animation and lip animation. Kind of like this.
I don't invent anymore. Oh, I should go back. I must create!
Okay, so that's just like some test audio that I created. Well, I reused from a previous project. But eventually we're going to get this guy saying stuff that matches the script, and we'll have the speech recognition running, which I've done in other demo type projects, and you'll be able to see these prompts, and they will influence what the character says, and you'll just be able to just talk to it. Just directly, not like clicking on a menu, just with your mouth, and he'll reply back. And it's going to be beautiful when I get there, but I won't get there tonight. So this is the point where I'm going to call it. I had some good victories today with just refining the UI around this, and tomorrow I'm going to do some more good stuff. So let's call that a stream. Let's chop off the sausage right there. Stopping the stream, stopping the stream, stopping it.